court specifically gave instructions, basically causing trauma to my child right now.
Man, that was my daddy.
First of all, you ain't had no business going behind my back.
I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him.
Never thought he would question paternity.
Of all that child support back to that man.
30% of the children are not the man's child.
Away from my dad for 26 years.
For the record, I stand behind my doctor.
You can stand behind whatever you want. I find you in contempt of court.
I knew that they would believe it because mommy's telling me the story. Because it's my mom, why would she lie to me?
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get all my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
You are. I'm not accepting illegal service from you. He can have it served properly by a Connecticut state marshal.
It was served properly.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Sorry that he's too much of an idiot that he doesn't know how to properly serve something. The court specifically gave instructions. The court tells you it says it right on the paperwork. It is your duty to give it.
Now, what this woman is doing is illegal, right? She's trying to take a flight out of the country with the kids, probably to never bring them back. And the man has a court order for her not to do so. Now, obviously, this woman is trying to, cause a scene and use the law in her favor, but she's dead wrong. So many women do this to men. Just leave with the kids. Keep the kids from him. And she's ordered to have him see the kids and be with the kids. This is sad.
To a Connecticut state marshal has to serve in hand. This order is not in effect until it is properly served. It was never properly served. I was never even notified about it until they come and tell me.
Miss, this is your copy, all right? You have the original, right? You have the original. Yep, the one that Calderon gave.
The father's not in New York. Nobody lives in New York. New York has no jurisdiction. Get this away from me.
Okay.
That's not mine. I'm not taking any service from you. You're not a state marshal in Connecticut.
Okay.
Only Connecticut state marshals can serve that properly, and you have to serve me with the original.
Okay.
And you didn't. Well, this is like they're basically causing trauma to my child right now.
Okay, ma'am. Here's your copy of this form.
You're not allowed to serve me.
Okay. This is the form that we did serve you. If you want to keep it for your own records, you can. Okay.
These women are not above the law. They walk around like they have impunity, like they're able to do whatever they want. No, you can't. Men have rights too. As you see here, the man had to have the cops stop her and serve her court papers. She's holding the kids hostage. This is sad.
So you were behind my back?
Yeah, I'm grown. I'm old enough now. I feel like I got the right to do that. So I just wanted to get a test and see what is my daddy.
And so you called him?
Yeah, I called him. He was like, he thought I was his son. So that means that
We don't see nothing funny.
Nah.
But I told you that was your dad. I first of all, that is your dad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who you took the test with and what you had going on, but that's your daddy.
Yeah. It sounds good, but look, I'm just saying.
It sounds good.
Nah, that's the result. The result say what it say now. I can't lie. I can't fake no results. Now, if you had something going on, then the man that was my daddy.
First of all, you ain't had no business going behind my back. That's what you didn't have no business doing.
Yeah, but I just feel like I ain't had no bond with him like that. Like, I knew something was off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted to go get my results and see what's going on.
Let me tell you something.
It's okay. I'm old enough, I understand. Now, if my real dad ain't want to take care of me, you know what I'm saying? And
see, some things are better left unsaid.
Oh, okay.
You should just left it like it was. I ain't tell you. I told you that was your daddy. You should have went right on with it all these years. You 18 years old, 19 years old now. It's no sense trying to go behind my back and figure it out. You too old now.
She wants it that way. It can't be that way. Why? Your son, he's 18 years old, and his third eye is open to the nonsense of woman. It is. You see how he's talking to you? He said, hey, well, my real daddy didn't want to take care of me. It's okay. He told you. It's okay. This man, your son, has grew up here on his own, surprisingly. Maybe he has a father figure out there somewhere in the street or guys he's around who talks to him like a man and is helping him. He has it from somewhere because he said it though. I'm not bonding with this man. I can feel it. Kids can feel it. He has nothing in common with this man. He doesn't air like with these men. Also, with the features, I'm sure he's noticing, wait a minute. We don't do certain things alike. We don't talk alike. We don't do reactions the same. You can tell. And little reactions the kids does. He doesn't feel it. So stop lying to him. Instead, she wants him to keep believing that lie. You might as well not even. No, he's not going for it.
Came up to me on the subway to ask for my phone number.
Well, it looks like there still are some guys approaching women.
He should have just asked for $1 at that point. He would have gained more from that conversation than that.
Oh dear. It doesn't sound like it went very well, does it?
He had the audacity to be like, wait, hold up. Do you have a boyfriend? Because I don't talk to girls in relationships.
Wait, that's a bad thing that he asked? How so?
I don't talk to men who aren't competitive, okay? If you can't fight, just say that.
Wow. And here I thought it just sounded like the guy was being respectful.
Stop trying to act like you're a good person. You're not a good person. You're approaching a woman alone on the subway. You're a terrible human being.
Wait, what?
Why not be like, what's your boyfriend's address? Let me him with my bare hands and then take you out for dinner. Romance. Learn it.
Well, doesn't that...
That's romance. Delusional. You know what's funny? Even if he was competitive, you probably wouldn't have given him the number anyway. You're saying all of this on TikTok, on the TikTok video. And the man does that or gets aggressive. Oh, you creep. Why did you say that about my man? Oh, baby, this man said this, and this about you today when I was on the subway. Happens all the time.
His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number 3, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own.
I wasn't shocked at the audacity.
I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility.
Figures. And women like this are everywhere. They're actually influenced by the feminazi and the liberal movement.
It's a new era. Ladies are legally free to be with whomever they feel free to be with. And for some women, an honest mistake could be made. Just make sure you're sincere and you've done your homework. And if you're making a legal claim to force a resistant man to claim your child as his dependent, make sure you can back it up with the facts.
Yeah, and it shows if you're in Tennessee or Colorado, call us now, because things like, I think they passed those laws out there, but still more men get in situations where the kid is not there. It's just sad. More men need to get that mandatory paternity test. More men also need to fight to make sure they can see their kids. Like I hear from a lot of guys, they say, oh, well, she just doesn't let me see the kids. Well, did you get a lawyer? They probably don't have money for a lawyer, but if you got a lawyer to fight for you, you could see your kids. I think I have some of those clips later in the video.
In our life, I've never expected him to think of me that low. To do that, that's low of a person. So you never thought he would question paternity? Ever. They're documented government papers.
When your friend's forging papers, what do you want me to do?
My friend, she forged DNA documents when we were younger. And it was real. It looked real. So, I mean, I understand, the fact.
All right. You had that real. All right. The reason they here now, because I know you can't do 3 or 4 DNA tests. You had your friend cook it up for you and all that extra shit. Do what she know how to do. And yo, it just dawned on me. Yo, this dad probably is doing that right now, and niggas is falling for it. Oh my god. Yo, be safe, gang. Yo, that's crazy, son.
It is crazy. There's so many women are doing this now with fake paternity tests. It's getting worse. So these laws are needed, right? More women should be getting locked up for this. More women should. Holding back kids from seeing their father and then blaming a guy for having a kid that's not theirs. Like the other situation with the 18-year-old. I'm surprised the guy didn't want to press charges. Seriously. I'd want to press charges because you robbed me for all those years. You robbed me. And the courts are probably not going to take heed to, oh, yeah, she's wrong. Then what? Nothing. No repercussions, no consequences. That's dead wrong.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid.
All right, men, it's our time. Our time has come. Ladies, your time has come too. Guess what? Maternity fraud is now legally a crime, and if a man is forced to pay child support for a child that was not his, oh, get ready. Guess what, ladies? You now owe the entirety of all that child support back to that man. If a man gets asked for a paternity test and that child is not his, which, by the way, 30% of the time it isn't, if that man can prove infidelity, which means you cheated, you may owe the entirety of all that child support back. And if you cannot pay it back, you are going straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ladies are now being held accountable for their actions.
It's about damn time.
I feel like the female kind is going to absolutely despise this. The male kind is going to absolutely love this. By the way, this has already been held against men. So don't even try to play that.
I had two guys call in. They work at DNA testing centers. One guy had to quit. One guy still works there. He told me 40% of the children are not the man's child. 40%. He said 40%.
Somebody call Maury.
It's usually
make DNA testing
it's
mandatory.
It's two scenarios where the woman, the person's getting a DNA test because the woman claims that is their child. Turns out it's not. The other one is where the parent is on the deathbed and makes a confession, or they need a liver transplant, blood transfusion, blood type. There's no way that can actually be the father. So then they find out because of medical reasons, and that's not my father. Then the father finds out from that way. He said it took such a toll on him that he could no longer do it because he would be sitting on the phone counseling the men and the grown children who these women falsely accuse. We see it on Maury, we see it on paternity court, yet we say men need to be held accountable.
I'm very much against the all men are evil narrative. One, because it feels oversimplified and bioessentialist. And two, because it excuses bad men's behavior as just an innate part of them. Not true at all. There's a lot of men who are perfectly wonderful people and understand that behavior is unacceptable. But it almost just doesn't feel worth it to ever play into the not all men narrative, because the men who are arguing that are never the men who I'm including in not all men. Like, legitimately, what I've noticed is the men who hear what I'm having to say and are truly able and willing to empathize with women's experience do not nitpick my individual words to try to convince themselves that I am evil and attacking them. And
yeah. What is the difference between a feminist and a knife?
What sort of a comparison is that? I don't understand.
Tell the answer.
Yeah.
At least a knife has a point.
The ones who are commenting not all men, it doesn't matter how many times I say, well, my best friend is a man, and I trust a lot of men, and there's plenty of good men, and men don't have to be innately bad. They don't care, and they'll just continue to call me a misandrist. You're misandrist. So it's just, what's the point? It's just incredibly frustrating to be talking about my struggle and fear that I deal with everyday living as a woman, and to be met with not all men as if I ever said that in the first place. Like, if you're getting that defensive, I think you need to do some unpacking, please, and not make it my problem. Because the healthiest men I know do not do that.
Your problem, she doesn't see the problem. The problem is you're still talking about it. Why are you, if you're still talking about it, men are going to say not all men. You're just fishing for an argument, and it's ridiculous. This is feminism, guys. She's a hardcore feminist and trying to make it seem, oh, yes, I'm with you guys. No, you're not. You're a feminist.
The moms who withhold their children from the dads who want to be there. So you ladies, say that again. For the women who withhold their children from the fathers who want to be there, shame on you.
Word.
There are plenty of men who are begging, almost pleading with the court system, with them, to see their children.
Yep.
And you're withholding a child from their father.
Because of your feelings and because you're freaking a psycho.
And you can't let go of the fact that that man don't want to be with you. That is not your child's fault that man wanted to let that thing go. Let your child have their father and support them, whether it kills you or not inside. As long as your child's safe, he's fed, he or she comes back clothed. You know what I mean?
But why would you want to be with someone that don't want you?
Yeah, it's sad. What women need to understand is kids need their fathers. They do. Actually, what women don't like about it too is a lot of women know deep down a kid will be better off living with the father. I would love to tell stories on my situation, but I'm not going to do that. But it's true. Kids will be better living with their fathers. More structure, more discipline. Also, the kids are more focused. Yes. Why? Because certain fathers, not all, certain fathers demand accountability. And kids need to be held accountable.
Kept me away from my dad for 26 years. You know what kept me away from him? My mom told me that my dad said I was a mistake and kept me away from my father. Every time, this been looking for me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
He's been looking for me. I finally talked to my dad. He's a good dude. My mom told me my dad has not paid child support since I was a kid. I finally meet this. He has envelopes full of shit proof showing he's been paying child support.
The sad reality is I've had that same conversation with some of my students about how their mother lied to them, how they told them a story for them to believe and knew that they would believe it because mommy's telling me the story, because it's my mom. Why would she lie to me? The hurt in his voice to go 26 years hating a man who was out there trying to find you and doing what he can do financially, even though he don't know where you are. That's the reality. Women love to paint this picture about men, it's one-sided, because there's this image about black fathers that they are not good fathers and they just abandon their kids and they don't take care of their kids. But that is a programming image that mothers get to use because everybody has said it. So why would another black boy not believe it? Why would I not believe it? Because my friends' fathers aren't there, so of course my dad had to leave. Not knowing that my mom is a liar and a manipulator.
My mother's a filthy liar.
And she didn't care about how I felt, what I needed. All she was worried about was what she wanted. And because his daddy didn't want to be with her, she said, well, forget you. You're not going to be in your child's life. A very selfish act that many, many mothers do. It didn't work out with you and him. He didn't want you. You should have chose a man who was committed to you and wanted you. Didn't you end up getting pregnant? It didn't work out. But instead of taking accountability and being a woman and being an adult, number one, and putting your children's needs first, she chose her own. And look who suffers. That child. That grown man who has to heal. And then go out here and try to be productive in his community with all this. To find this out at 26 years old. But I've had that conversation. I've sat down and watched a child sit in my face and tell me how his mom lied to him. I had a parent actually one time call me about his daughter saying, just basically, like, I'm her father. Last time I knew, they were they were living somewhere. They moved away. I don't know if it's true or not. Can you confirm? And I said, I can't confirm or deny that. I cannot confirm for safety reason if that child attends this school. But that was his story. I have a child. This was her name. I was told that she goes to this school. I don't know where they've been. It's been years. I'm just trying to find out if this is my daughter there because her mom left. This happens. This happens so often. So we have to stop listening to one side of things because children are suffering, because we as women are emotional and we are selfish at times, and we are not thinking about our babies, and that's what we need to focus on, our babies.
Mum alienates child from father, stops contact. Child grows up without the father. Father fights, doesn't get anywhere because of the court system. Daughter now is an adult herself with her own children. She reaches out to me, Feminine House Bunny, and wants to talk to me, and that's happening tomorrow. I'm going to confirm the time nearer the date. I'm going to get home. I'm away at the moment. I'm going to get home, give her a buzz. We're going to structure a podcast so that you can come in and listen in on the Stereo app. All right? It's probably going to be around 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. So she's an alienated child that's now an adult. Right? And I'm really passionate about this because people do it all the time. It's all around us. I even know someone that I don't speak to anymore. She did it to her ex. There was no good reason for it. She just didn't like him. It's really common, and it's been happening for, I'm going to go probably a century, if not longer. I mean, it's always been happening. And in the old days, no one blinked because they were like, oh, what did the dad do wrong? Or, you know, what did she do wrong? It's almost like people, in a way, normalised it. But now we realise the devastating effects it has on mental health. But also, it's abuse. It's a massive form of abuse. So if you're watching this and you have done that to your child, male or female, come and listen to my podcast. And
yeah, man, I say people need to go listen to it, especially people that are experiencing it. But it's not the woman doesn't realize what it does to the kid. Could you imagine a kid, especially a daughter? She said a daughter growing up thinking, my dad doesn't love me, and has no clue that their dad is fighting tooth and nail to see them all the time. Hasn't seen them in years and is dying to see them. It causes mental effects. It causes kids to be a little bit off. Yes, because they feel my dad doesn't want to see me. You have to go to school like that. It's sad. You have to carry on through life like that. It's not good.
Pretoria mother sentenced to prison for refusing baby daddy to see his child. Times Live reported that the saga began when Judge L.I. Forster ordered that the man pay maintenance of 15,000 rand. He also ordered that the woman must grant the man visitation rights every alternate weekend. The woman refused to do so. The frustrated man then took her to court in 2022 after she defied the 2021 order. The court found the lady in contempt, and the law fell hard on her. It's believed the man wanted to fetch his child to be with him in September, and the woman refused to cooperate. Judge Portia Fallane sentenced her to 12 months and ordered her to pay the father's legal costs. The child was immediately given to the father.
Wow, what a story. I love to see things like that, but the man had to fight. Nowadays, you have to fight, right? A lot of women are learning that affects their kids in a negative way, but if they don't learn, you got to fight, because sometimes, or a lot of times, little do you know, you'd win.
Did you see it in the? Yes, ma'am. It's not showing in Judge's editions. Oh, that's odd. Odyssey shows it. Okay, I apologize. So there are two things. There's Odyssey that everybody kind of looks at, and then there's Judge's edition, which is how we keep our notes based on a document, which is how we operate. I don't know why, but this interim order isn't there. So when I was reviewing the file for this hearing, I didn't see this order. So let me take a quick second to look at it. Thank you.
No problem, Judge.
Has this order been followed? Is it being followed?
Your Honor, that's why we're here.
It's not being followed.
No. No, right. We filed a contempt on this order on May 7th.
Really? I don't know what's happening. Okay. I assume I had thought that this matter was coming back on the calendar because I continued it from the last matter, but now I understand. Okay, so there is also the contempt on the interim order.
That's
right.
correct, Your Honor.
Got it. I got it. All right. Yeah. All other issues shall remain. Okay. All right. So the order isn't being followed.
That's
It is
correct.
not. That's the issue. It being followed at all, like no visitation, or just being
No visitation at all, Judge.
all right, Ms. Bouvier, I've indicated to you once before that your video has to stay on. This will be my last warning to you. Turn your video on. Ms. Bouvier, if I say it again, I'm going to find you in contempt of court. If I say it again, I'm going to find you in contempt. So when any issue happens before, I'm going to have my deputies come get you. Okay? You turn it off again, I will find you in contempt of court. All right? So you will spend 10 days in the DeKalb County Jail. You turn the video off again. Okay? Did you understand me, Ms. Bouvier? Did you understand me, Ms. Bouvier? Unmute yourself and say so. Ms. Bouvier, I'm going to ask you one more time. I'm going to excuse you from this hearing. I'm going to find you in contempt, and I will pick you up. And your child will then go to Mr. Habib. Unmute.
I stand behind my documents. For the record, I stand behind my documents.
You can stand behind whatever you want. Do not unmute like I asked you. Ms. Marshall, go ahead and remove Ms. Bouvier from these proceedings.
You can't make this up.
Yes, ma'am. I find you in contempt of court. 10 days in the DeKalb County Jail. Child will be presented to Mr. Habib. These matters will be continued thereafter. All right.
Wow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
that
right.
child goes to his daddy.
You too, Your Honor.
Judge, do you want me to prepare an order for incidental?
Prepare the order. Put it in Word so I can put in my contempt. But interim custody of the child will be sent to Mr. Habib.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's the moral of that story.
Ladies, get on in here. Fellas, y'all can come on in too. Just sit in the back. Don't make too much noise. Stop denying these fathers their legal visitation time with their kids. Stop. And I am only talking to the people who have a court order in place. If you do not have a court order, it is a free-for-all. Do whatever it is you want to do. And if you don't have a court order and you don't like how things are being done, hire an attorney and get you one. For my ladies who do have a court order in place, let me tell you what happened in court today. Let me warn you again. So I had a hearing today. My client's spouse took all the money out of their joint bank account. Different story for another day. But we were there pretty early and there was another hearing going on. So the hearing was an enforcement, and like I've told you many times on this page, that an enforcement is a lawsuit that you file when someone is violating the court order. So if someone isn't paying you child support on time, you file an enforcement. If someone isn't letting you see your children, you file an enforcement. So at this particular hearing, the father had filed an enforcement because he was not able to see his kids because the mom had been withholding them. I've told y'all many a times, the videos are posted, that one of the main punishments for an enforcement is jail time. The slammer, the clanker, clank, clank. You know what happened at the end of that hearing? She was sentenced to 10 days in jail.
Emotional damage.
Mother's Day is Sunday. She will spend Mother's Day in jail. Ain't worth it. Let these men see their kids.
Yeah, so, and that's said from a lawyer, but this is the thing. Most guys have to speak up. They have to. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you next video. And more guys aren't trying to get into this because they realize it's more to life. They're going through that.